This is MaiCoin podcast number 2. Today, myself, Jesse Knudsen, our CEO founder, Alex Liu. We're here with the founder of TRON, the CEO of BitTorrent, Justin Sun. Welcome to Taipei.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. So, kind of like to start just with your general background.
Yeah,
what did
sure.
you do before the space? How did you get into it? Where are you from? Where do you spend most of your time now?
Yeah, sure. Originally I'm come from China in Guangdong province.
Okay.
And I went to Beijing for the college. I went to Peking University.
Okay, great university.
Yeah, and then I got the master and then went to the University of Pennsylvania.
Okay. Were you a computer science major?
I'm in history.
Oh, history.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And also for our university is a cradle for the entrepreneur.
Okay.
So we have Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and Donald Trump. So basically, 3 different kind of the entrepreneurs.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. And then after the master, after I received the master degree, I got into Bitcoin area in around like 2012.
Wow. Yeah.
So before I get into the crypto space, I was supposed to take LSAT and become a lawyer, but eventually I get into the crypto space and never going back.
Oh, that's great.
So I worked for Ripple for like 1.5 years. Started from community operation, and then I went back to China to become the chief representative of Ripple in China at that time. It's around like 2015. So 2014, 2015, I worked for Ripple, and then everyone knows we come to the bearish market. So that's why at that time I started my own startups in China. At that time we are doing like live streaming. So this company is also very successful. It's one of the largest voice live streaming platform in China. And then but still we also have a company called Ripple. We are doing blockchain development at that time. So around 2017, I founded TRON. So started a smart contract platform, and in 2018, I acquired BitTorrent. So that's pretty much like all our products.
And how old are you now?
I'm 28.
I feel like you've done a lot in your 28 years on this planet.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 42. I feel like I need to pick my game up a little bit. That's great. So, TRON, if I'm explaining this platform to my dad,
sure.
How do I explain to him what TRON does?
Yeah, sure. I will split into 2 aspects. First of all, it's the reality, because my father also got into crypto really early.
Really?
Because it's around like 2013 and 2012. Because I graduate and then get into the space, and my father asked me, "What are you doing?" So I just told him I'm doing like some like a cool new currency.
Yeah.
He is like, wow, like you can literally like build like a new currency. It's supposed to be issued by government, right? So that's the first time I told my father it's a new currency, and then it's just like a just-in coin, so something like. So that's why my father actually bought lots of the Bitcoin and also XRP. Even he didn't even know what I'm doing. So I just told him to go to the the exchange to buy Bitcoin and buy XRP. At that time it's XRP, right? Yeah. So, but the only reason he buy all those coins because he just knows it's just in coin. So.
Oh, okay. So it was your abilities as a salesman, not necessarily okay.
But if right now, if I try to explain like TRON to my father or any like elderly people, I will say it's more like the money for the internet. So basically, in the reality world, we have lots of the currencies, right? But in the internet and also in the virtual world, we need to also have the currency. So that's like TRON, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I would consider them just like the currency in another world, basically. Yeah.
Do we need that many currencies though? Like things tend to trend towards one. Like in Western social media, we have one dominant platform, which is Facebook. You have one dominant video streaming platform, which is YouTube.
Yeah.
And if there's no barriers, national barriers, do we need like 1,000 different currencies?
Yeah, definitely. I think first of all, I'm a huge believer for the competitive currency system. So I believe we need to have lots of the people. They have the rights to issue their own currency. So the different currency can compete with each other. So from this perspective, I think we need lots of the currency. But eventually, I do believe we just will have tens, maybe 20, major currency used by everybody, right? In different industry, maybe in different channels. But we only have dozens. It can't be 1,000 or 100 currencies people use.
Do you think we're seeing that play out already? Because in this bull market right now, we're seeing just the major cryptos go up, and everyone on Twitter is saying, when alt season, and it's not really coming. It's all of just the major ones. So maybe we're seeing that play out already, do you think?
Yeah. I think right now we still need more currency actually.
Okay.
Because right now if you check coin market cap, you can see only I think it's around 2,000 something to 3,000.
Yeah.
I think eventually we will reach at least to 10,000, 100K something. But actually I do believe the major currency will dominate the market cap. You can see Bitcoin will always go from 30% to 60%, right? So right now it's 60%.
Yeah.
So definitely I think Bitcoin will occupy a large chunk of the market cap, Ethereum, XRP, even TRON. So basically I think the major currency will occupy lots of the market cap. But still, there is some room for the small currencies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a big event coming up next month. You've got this really famous lunch with Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
So what was the thinking on this? I mean, it's a really kind of creative idea.
Yeah, sure.
So where did that idea come from?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So first of all, I'm a long-time believer for the Warren Buffett value investment strategy.
Yeah.
Because I get into the Bitcoin because I also make lots of the fortune on stock market investment. So that's why I get into interest into Bitcoin in the first place. Mm-hmm. So that's my understanding of the Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. My investment in the Bitcoin is also value investment, basically.
You mean based on its fundamentals?
Yeah, exactly. Fundamentals long-term strategy and vision, so see all those long-term strategies. So that's why when I see on the news, Warren Buffett said the Bitcoin is a rat poison. Yeah, exactly.
It's worse than rat poison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So when I see those news, I think Warren Buffett has been misleading by the mainstream media.
Yeah.
So he didn't have the best channel, the best people to let him know what's actually going on in the crypto space, right? So that's why I come up with this idea. I want to share with him, let him know what's the recent update of the crypto space, what the exciting things happen in the crypto space. And then at the same time, I would like to talk with the Warren Buffett why I also a Warren Buffett theory believers, right? Why I also think crypto is kind of really cool, and I put lots of the money into this space.
He's not really well known for being a savvy tech investor, though.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
He only got into Apple a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah. I
think only recently into Amazon. So he's known for being really slow on picking up tech trends. So is it even important that, we did you listen to the Rubini debate today with Arthur Hayes? That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Rubini, I don't think you can convince him.
Yeah.
And does it matter if we can't convince Warren Buffett or Rubini? Does it even matter?
So from my understanding, I'm always like want to communicate with the people of different opinions.
Yeah.
And I also think this is extremely important because right now we only have like around 10 million people in the crypto space. Maybe if the people work in the crypto space, even less, maybe like only 100K or something, right? So it's even less than like the whole employee of Amazon or something. So that's why I think one of the very important skill set for our industry is trying to let the people outsiders to know like how cryptocurrency works and how they can use them, right?
Yeah.
For example, like I mean, if the Warren Buffett get into buy the Apple stock, Apple already become the most successful company in the world, right?
Yeah.
But around like 2007, like around 2006, I think if at that time we have this kind of the podcast, one of the most important mission for the Apple fans is try to convince everybody why iPhone is better than the Nokia, why smartphone is better than the regular phone,
the feature,
right? Exactly, like a grandma phone, right? So that's why I think this is also extremely important if we want to get more people on board. So that's why also I consider the lunch with Warren Buffett is a very good opportunity to communicate with traditional institutional investors. Yeah. Because lots of them also value the opinion from Warren Buffett and also and his lunch. So basically.
Yeah, I think there's obviously there's a strong demographic argument that could be made. Like populations are changing in the U.S. now. 50% of the population is post-millennial or younger.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just, I think it's kind of like marijuana in the U.S. Is that the older people were against marijuana for a long time, but there's been a generational change, and that's just demographics. And I think that'll play out in financial markets too.
Yeah, exactly. That's also like one of the opinions I want to introduce to Warren Buffett is like Bitcoin is like the money for the millennials. Yeah. So for the younger generation, when they first get into, for example, lots of the younger generation, they don't even know like there has some like a smart grandma like phone exists before, right? They didn't even understand how to use those phones in the first place. I mean, the fiat currency is the same. So if we like have the like the fiat currency and the younger generation, they didn't even realize like there is some like a new coin, like some older coins, right? Like a fiat RMB, right? Yeah. The first thing they get used to use is Bitcoin, Ethereum, like TRX, like those coins.
I didn't use email until I was in university. My second year of university, and I said, oh, this is stupid. I'm never going to use this. I'm going to write letters to people, and I'm going to call them on the telephone.
Exactly.
Things change, right?
But
your acquisition of BitTorrent, that's real business. You spent a good amount of money on that as well, and it was an organization that's been around for a long time. Now you've in the meanwhile issued a token for the platform. Can you tell us about BTT?
Sure, definitely. I think BTT is also really promising because Libra is launching in like around 2020.
They hope.
Like June something.
They hope.
Exactly. So, but in July 8th, so basically after like 5 days something, we will launch like a BitTorrent Speed. So the BTT will be distributed to hundreds of millions of the people around the globe. So that's why I think this is coming. And also how the BTT play in the BitTorrent protocol. So BitTorrent protocol is the largest file sharing protocol around the globe. So there is like 1 billion in-store users and also around like 170 million people in the whole ecosystem using it like every month. So, but right now, one of the biggest challenge for the protocol is when you upload files and also upload data, you can't get a reward from the uploading. So basically, it's just for goodwill you will upload the files. So that's why a lot of the clients even help you to shut down or close the software or the clients immediately after you finish the downloading. So you You don't need to waste your like bandwidth. But this gonna hurt the ecosystem because the ecosystem want like more people upload files and the data into the platform, into the swarm. So like somebody else, they can be easier to download the files. So that's why we introducing the BTT. So right now, if you keep your computer open, like seeding, continuous seeding, you can earn BTT. So other people, if they want to accelerate their downloading, they can bid for better price, and then they can spend the BTT to get files. So that's why we believe the BTT will make the BitTorrent protocol better. So at the same time, they can also easier for them to transfer the files, and also for the seeding, you can earn incentive.
It's a little bit like Bitcoin, right? Like with the you need to incentivize miners to do payment processing. They're not going to do it for free. There's a lot of costs.
Exactly.
Right. So you have to give a block reward, and this
exactly,
sounds a little bit similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The difference is because the mining process is just for like just for solving the puzzles, right? To verify the ledger. But here, this is like real user case. So lots of the people, they benefit from the files you are uploading. So that's why I think this is also a kind of the sharing economy, right? So everybody can share their computer bandwidth, their computer storage resources to others, and anybody else can get benefit from those sharing.
So I would presume the BTT token is issued on the TRON blockchain?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
naturally, right?
Yeah, it's a TRC10 token.
Tell us why, as anyone considers issuing tokens, they should choose the TRON blockchain as opposed to anyone else.
Yeah, sure, definitely. First of all, TRON network is the fastest blockchain right now in the top 10 major cryptocurrency platform, and also the same time we are fully compatible with Ethereum, another very large smart contract platform. So for the developers, if they have been developed on the Ethereum platform for so long, it's extremely easier for them to migrate from Ethereum to TRON. And also we are like fully compatible with EVM, like TVM, and other virtual machine. So it's very easier for you to use Solidity, Java, and the other like programming language to build your own like smart contracts platform. And also the settlement is extremely fast. And also it's easier for you to list your token on the platform because the TRC10, TRC20 standards is very familiar with all the exchanges because they have already listing the BTT, listing TRX already, so they are very familiar with those standards.
All right. Yeah. So walking around EBS today, I saw lots of posters of a handsome young man, and then it says next to it, "Decentralize the internet."
Yeah.
So,
sure.
I mean, what are your thoughts there? I mean, obviously, I think that there's a big push right now. There's a lot of concern, especially in the U.S., about the power that certain social media platforms have on I guess society, culture, elections.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so, what are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I believe the blockchain is just the first step, or the cryptocurrency is just the first step. I always believe we have like something bigger comes after that. I mean, it's the structure of the whole internet. I think will gradually change from like a centralized structure. Right now we have like Amazon, Facebook, Google, they all have like centralized server or cloud servers to control all the data, to like a better decentralized internet structure. So cryptocurrency, I think, is the first user case of the decentralized internet. Of course, BitTorrent is another one, right? So it's for file transfer, but I think in the future we will have more. So some people right now is doing like decentralized identity. I think that's definitely one of them. And also we are launching like a BTFS, it's decentralized storage plan. So people can store their files, data, decentralizing different kind of the device, like put together. So that's why I think this is extremely important, because I think decentralized structure will give the rights back to the people. So everybody can own their own data, without their permission, nobody can touch their data. So that will solve all the problem like once and for all. So that's why I think when some people, I think right now, for example, the Facebook was accused of manipulating the data, right? The Congress will say like, we want more regulation.
Yeah.
The Congress want to see your data basically, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna solve the problem anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is the only way we can solve all these privacy problem and all these like fundamental problems.
Do you think, Justin, we'll get there in one fell swoop, in one step? Meaning we'll go from a centralized platform like Facebook to something like where our identities are our private keys, and we show them anywhere we want to get onto a platform.
Yeah.
Or is there somewhere in between? Is there an intermediate step?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I think most of the government, they don't want to see the decentralized internet structure. Yeah. It's also make them hard to control the internet actually.
That's why they don't want it.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's also why Bitcoin is not like well received by lots of the governments, right?
Yeah.
So and so there will be some pushback from like the regulatory perspective. And also lots of the large internet companies, they don't want to see the decentralized internet structure for sure. So, but definitely I think the people in the decentralized internet will get more. For example, right now, Bitcoin is expanding, BitTorrent is expanding, but from my understanding, it takes lots of the time. Maybe after like 1 or 2 generations, eventually the internet will become decentralized. But I mean, it's gonna take a long time to achieve this.
So Justin, in the 2 weeks that has elapsed since Facebook announced the Libra project, I've noticed a lot of discussion from mainland channels about, hey, does this call for a rethink of the September 2017 sort of edict? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think, once we get through this regulatory scrutiny that Facebook is undergoing from the U.S. Congress, after this, however long that takes, one suspects that because the consortium they pulled together is a very sizable company, right?
Exactly,
and therefore more easily regulated in some ways, even though it's clearly more decentralized than one single platform. What are your thoughts on the prospects for a re-examination in China about?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I think Libra definitely benefits the whole blockchain industry, because before that, people will think the people in this area, I mean, most of the outsiders or the common people, they will see this like scam is always pump and down.
Common people like Rubini.
Yeah, common people like Rubini. Yeah, exactly. Pump and down. And after that, when they see like Facebook, PayPal, eBay, like all the large company.
No worries.
Yeah, sure. All the large companies is coming into this space, right? They definitely increase legitimacy of the whole industry, and also for example in China, like before that, because they have this like September 9th ban on the cryptocurrency and also the ICO. There has been like 2 years China didn't have lots of the reaction on the cryptocurrency, but the Libra definitely raised a lot of the awareness from like the tech industry. Actually, people is talking about we need to reopen to the cryptocurrency because the Facebook gonna dominate the whole industry, right? We need to do something. So that's why on this level, I definitely think Facebook gonna benefit the whole industry. But on another side, I don't think the Libra will become like really successful, because we see this before. It's like R3. Before that, like JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, like all the CT, like all the big investment bank join together. They want to figure out something like blockchain, but eventually, because they have like different interests and they don't see the blockchain as like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So definitely you will see lots of the company pull out from the R3, right?
So I think like a lot of American companies, they think that they're innovators of tech, and Chinese are just copiers. Right? They think Didi copied Uber,
Yeah.
Xiaomi copied Apple.
Yeah.
But in some ways, like, do you think Facebook Libra, do you think this is a cryptocurrency, or do you think it's just Facebook looking at Tencent and saying, WeChat Pay looks awesome, like we need to do that too? Because payments
Yeah.
in the US are
Yeah.
way far behind
Yeah, exactly.
what you have in China, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think you are like a great angle here. I think 90% of the reason is because they see the WeChat Pay is amazing. Because I don't know if you are noticed, like one of the posts in Zuckerberg, actually Facebook, in his Facebook account, he posted like there is like a user asked him like did he notice like the WeChat actually have more function and really awesome compared to the Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. And then like Zuckerberg replied to him like we're gonna learn from like WeChat.
Yeah.
I think that's the WeChat Pay is like the extremely vital part of the WeChat for sure.
Yeah.
So that's why I also think the Facebook they don't have like the vision or anything on decentralized internet or crypto blockchain structure. They just want to make a better payment system. So I think that's their...
Yeah, kind of my concern with the whole thing is I think it's really cool to see, I used to work in banking, it's very cool to see tech companies coming into banking and challenge that way of thinking, because these are all like super old companies, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of them are several hundred years old, right? So, but what I worry about is that, you know, Tron, Bitcoin, our industry has been developing kind of slowly, it's not huge, and regulators haven't had a coordinated response, right?
Yeah.
What I worry about with Facebook is it's going to force a coordinated response. So within the first week, you know, France had comments,
exactly.
you know, the US had comments,
So
and the G20 had comments. So that's my only concern, is it could force a negative regulatory response.
I think definitely that's one of the possibility. But I think the Facebook is definitely one of the biggest companies can deal with them, right? Because before that, like nobody in the crypto space have like any energy. We can like deal with like the government regulators. Exactly. When like China issue like the crypto ban in China, like before that, you know, lots of the industry, if they have the like bargaining power, they can talk to the government, or they have like association, they can do some kind of the suggestion or discuss with the government. But for crypto, there is no way. So Chinese government issued a ban, and then everybody flee out of the China. So that's basically how it works.
If you had to guess how big China is in terms of the crypto industry, like what would you say a percentage of, like if total volumes, what do you think a percentage is of Chinese money?
I think before that is huge, right? Everybody knows before the crypto ban, it's almost like 60-70% something.
Well, there was a really good chart that if you did inverse US dollar CNY to Bitcoin, it was like really, really, it looked like the same chart.
Exactly. But right now, even after the crypto ban, I think China still occupy like 20% of the market and also the community.
Of the community as well.
Exactly. There's lots of the like the Chinese community around the globe, right?
What do we got here? Oh, okay, I wanted to ask about this. So, Tron was one of the most successful ICOs, probably. BitTorrent token was one of the first IEOs. So we have ICOs, IEOs. We kind of have STOs. We now have IDOs. You know, what's next? Like, this is a really interesting fundraising mechanism, I think. So how is this going to evolve in the future? It feels like IEOs, I mean, it's not nearly as big as ICOs.
Exactly.
So how is this all going to evolve, you think?
First of all, I think whatever you call it, like ICO, IEO, like this kind of IXO.
IXO, I don't know about this one.
IX, meaning X. Substitute your character.
Oh, got it. Okay, I got
it. So when you whatever you call it, it's definitely an innovative way to raising the money. Because before that, you always need to go the traditional way, talk to the VC, right? Raise like A round, B round, C round, and then PE, maybe pre-IPO, and then go to the IPO, right? So this is the only way for you if you want to do a startup doing new things, right? And the problem for the for the IPO, the problem is you don't have like a global markets basically.
Yeah.
But for the ICO, IEO, you are immediately facing like a global market, facing a global community.
Yeah.
So that's why I think in the future, when we do the fundraising, eventually the system will become like more friendly to the community, and also is globally. So I think this is suitable for those products. It's always for the global users, and also the same time it's more like a community-based project. So that's why for me, I always encourage our projects on Tron, if they are more like community oriental project, I will ask them definitely you need to do an ICO, because that or IEO or how you call it. But this is the only way you can get community engagement in your platform and get more people to use your platform. So basically,
I think the really interesting thing about ICOs is it showed that globally there's massive appetite for this.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And that's like Rubini today was talking about in creditor investor rules and protecting the little guy. I think that's really an old way of thinking. Like if high growth companies are primarily tech companies, who's better to evaluate that? Like young people or, you know, a 60-year-old landlord, you know, wherever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you know, you need money to make money, right? Everybody knows that. So how do you get money if you don't have money? Like you need to start somewhere. And I think there's definitely a position in everybody's portfolio for these high return things.
Yeah.
But the only thing that gets me with the ICO, IEO thing is what do I get as an investor? Because at least, you know, Alex and I have been working pretty hard to get STO support in Taiwan because we think it's important to have a regulator to say, okay, these are your rights as an investor.
Yeah.
So how do you balance that between like the ease of raising money and being global, and then also making sure that investors have some rights, that they get something?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
first of all, I think this is really amazing. I can share you like a story. So when I finished my ICO right before the crypto ban, so I received like an email from like South Africa. So he told me he saw my project online, so he invests in South Africa. Actually, he's like a farmer in South Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't even know how he like see my project in the first place, and that's make me feel like really amazing, because when some people doing like projects in China or like in some other continents, right? And some people in Africa, they can even see your project, like make a decision to invest in your project. So that's why I think this is really amazing if you want to have a global community. This definitely gonna help you, because the cost and also the speed is really fast and the cost is extremely low. Because if you compare to like IPO or any like private run money raising, it's kind really hard to manage the investor, and also even the fee for raising money is quite high, right? That's I think the advantage of the ICO and IEO. But also, as you say, I think right now definitely lots of the exchanges and also the research center is doing good job on that. For example, like for like Binance, if you want to invest into the IEO on the Binance, they will have like a research paper for you. They will build like an investor group for you on the Telegram. You can talk to the investor. And I think this is also even better than the traditional investment channel. So before that, traditional investor, if you do the roadshow, right, you just like see the CEO and then they are gone, right? But for like crypto space, you can talk with the CEO on the Telegram group. You will have a Telegram, you have research paper, you can talk to the team. Actually, I think the engagement is kind of like active. So I think, but we definitely know there's a long way to go to educate the investor and make them like easier to involved with the project.
I feel like the IEO model really creates a lot more risk for the exchanges.
Yeah.
You know, because now the exchange is putting a stamp on it and say, I'm the underwriter, right? I went through this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I guess from an investor perspective, maybe that's a little bit better, because now you've got a big company like Binance saying this project is okay. but it's upping their involvement in it. They're not just passively, listing and allowing trading of these tokens. They're now actively going out and underwriting them.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that'll play out as well, because I can't think that the SEC is thinking, well, this is a great improvement on the ICO model.
Yeah, definitely. I understand your question. So from my understanding, the more work's done for the projects, the better, because before we have this kind of the concept of the IEO. Lots of the projects, they don't have the disclosure of the project at all. So I think at least right now the IEO doing a lot of the document disclosure for the investor. So for example, we collaborate with Binance on the BitTorrent projects, right? I think the research paper for the BitTorrent is like the best research paper ever I have seen in the whole industry. It's definitely give lots of the standards, set up lots of the protocols for the project if you want to. So I think even other exchanges or any project, if they want to do like ICO, IEO, or even STO, they can follow the research paper or the procedure on the Binance to show how much information you have to meet the standards of the document disclosure. So the investor can get lots of the information.
So the way we've tried to handle that on our exchange is we work with a project called GITA, so they're Global ICO Transparency Association, and they've got a list of 80 things where they say they want companies to release for transparency, and if the more they release, the higher a score they do. So we kind of try and do it that way. And
exactly.
You put the onus, I think, both on the entity to release more information, and then also on the investors to say, okay, if this project got a score of 1 out of 5, meaning they didn't release much information, and you invested in it anyway, then kind of buyer beware.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's also give you like a threshold, right? Because there's people doing rating, right? It's like a PNE in our industry, right? They doing rating for the project, so the ratings, and also they give you lots of the reference if you want to choose the project. That's definitely better, than 2017.
Definitely.
Because 2017, when we're doing the ICO, actually at that time, most of the project is just like the white paper. and the hilarious part is a lot of the project, they even have the fake name, or even the team members is fake. Lots of the project at that time back in China, and also there's only one white paper, and lots of the people put money into the project. So that's why I think also the industry is evolved actually. Right now, if you see the quality of the product and the quality of the team, it's definitely better than the 2017, these 2 years.
So do you think China's attitude will change at all towards cryptocurrency and digital assets? I think it seems like they've shut down pretty much everything except mining. Mining is still going. So do you think that'll change at all? I've got to think it probably won't, because capital controls, the trade war. What do you think?
First of all, definitely for the short term, I think it's not gonna happen. The reason is trade war and also the money controls, right? But in the long term, I think definitely Chinese government will take some step on reconsidering their cryptocurrency policies. The reason is very simple, because Chinese government is also really focused on the internet these days. You can see the Tencent, Alibaba, all those giant companies contribute lots of the GDP, and also offering lots of the works in China, jobs in China. So those people will lobby the government, try to get into this space, because they will say this is the next generation of the internet. If the government continue to shut down the Chinese market, we can't do that.
Come to Taiwan.
We
have co-working space upstairs.
Definitely. So they will see we need to do that. I heard some rumors recently in the Ant Financial Group. Lots of the people is trying to lobby the Chinese government already, because they said right now we try to compete with the Facebook and those company on international payment, right?
Yeah.
If you right now you can see if you got like Alipay, if you go to the like airport in Rome, like Paris or London, you can see you can pay in Alipay, right?
Yeah.
So they actually compete with, they try to acquire MoneyGram, right? They want to compete with those foreign company on payment overseas. So I think when they see Facebook is doing Libra, they feel lots of the pressure on blockchain as well. So they definitely need to lobby the Chinese government trying to do something. Yeah. So for the midterm and long term, I'm optimistic on that.
So Justin, you've been to Taiwan a few times.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on and what are your thoughts for Taiwan?
Yeah. First of all, I think
touchy subject.
We talk about food,
okay, food, okay.
First of all, for the cryptocurrency, I think Taiwan definitely gonna benefit a lot if Taiwan move quickly on the crypto regulatory base and also move quickly on the development. Because lots of the demands in China will flow to Taiwan. This is really simple. I can give you like an example before. So before Hong Kong return back to China when they under the British government regime, at that time a lot of the even the Chinese government, if they want to communicate with outside, they use like Hong Kong as their window to go overseas, right? Yeah. So this kind of the special like role give Hong Kong lots of the benefits actually. Yeah. So I think right now the Hong Kong and Taiwan also have this kind of the chance because in China the whole blockchain industry is shut down. So lots of the company migrate to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and the Singapore. So basically. So that's why I think this is like a huge opportunities.
Yeah, this is exactly the pitch that Alex and I have been making to the regulators here. Is that this is it's a unique opportunity for Taiwan because it's one of the few. Just China's getting stronger and stronger in every area and outcompeting Taiwan in a lot of ways. Yeah, and this is the only industry that China has said, okay, we don't really want to pursue this at the moment. Yeah. And they're basically leaving it on the floor for us to pick up. And Taiwan is saying, oh, no, we can't be bothered. It's kind of a funny situation.
Yeah, exactly. You can see even like on the mobile, right? HTC can't compete with Xiaomi and all the like Oppo, Vivo, those Chinese companies, right? So that's why, exactly. This is like the last hope.
No, it really is. It really is.
How do we get you here to Taiwan, Justin? Why are you in California? I know the weather's great there.
Yeah, exactly. and also, I think the Taiwan is also have the best developers. Also have lots of the university here. Yeah. So everything is actually ready for the crypto space.
Yeah, I mean, we really do need very little except for just a little bit more kind of a progressive attitude from the regulators and it could really become a hub.
Yeah, exactly. And also I think Taiwan is also near Japan and Korea, right? Yeah. As we know, like the market in the Japan and Korea is also extremely large, right? So I mean, that's why I think also the crypto in Asia is actually a big topic. Yeah. I think 50% of the volume is in like US and Europe, and then another 50% basically is in the whole Asia. And also Taiwan, I mean, is in the center of this kind of the Pacific Asian
geographically.
Yeah, geographically. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So okay, that's another question. So you travel around a lot, and I noticed that we talked to Samson and Charlie about this yesterday. Yeah. Is I really feel like if you look at Twitter, because it's an English platform, right? Yeah. So you get a sense that the whole community, the global crypto community, has one set of. Well, actually, I guess you don't. Everyone's always fighting, but there just seems to be a very different attitudes and beliefs. I think between especially Chinese users and then Western users. Have you noticed any of that, and what do you think?
Yeah, sure. I'm both like active in Weibo and Twitter, right? Yeah. So in Weibo I got like 1.1 million fans, and on Twitter I got 1.3 million. Okay. So I definitely know the difference between different platforms. Actually, I like Twitter better because I think the Twitter community is more active, and also they discuss lots of the topic the Chinese community didn't even touch on. So most of I think the Chinese community is also still in like a really early stage. So most of the people trying to know more about the cryptocurrency itself, like how I can make money, right?
Yes.
Like how I can use the wallet. And lots of the people, they didn't even know the cryptocurrency at all. Because lots of the people got scammed by lots of the scammers.
Yeah.
Because they don't know like how to because they don't even know how to buy the cryptocurrency. I can give you an example. Lots of the people in China got scammed because they buy the BTC on Ethereum blockchain. So they will say like, this is BTC, right? I buy BTC, but actually they find out, oh, BTC have another blockchain. What's that mean, right? So this is kind of hilarious, but this is actually happening in China. So that's why I think for the Chinese community,
it's just more practical, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
how can I make money?
Yeah, exactly.
We were talking about Tether yesterday because I think Chinese people just like, it works.
Yeah.
You know, I can move money around. I don't care.
Yeah,
it works.
yeah.
And there's a lot more, philosophical debates and regulatory debates on Twitter.
Yeah.
Whereas Chinese people are just like, I just moved $5 million. It was great.
Yeah. It's more practical actually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of the people like ask about like, do you have any doubt or concern if they don't have like a fully 100% backed by the US dollars, right?
Yeah.
But for most of the Chinese people, they don't even know who issued the Tether in the first place. Because all the Tether website is English, right? They don't even know,
Yeah.
right? But they just think this is US dollars. So even that's why the Tether got lots of the premium on the price in
Yeah.
China market, right?
Yeah.
It's if you convert like the US dollar in Huobi, so it's always above like 7 something.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Maybe last question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Tron, the movie, when did you first watch it, and why did it inspire you to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I think TRON is an amazing movie. So actually, literally, this is the first movie about the virtual world. So before that, there's like no like any topic talk about like virtual world in the movie at all. So actually, TRON is the first movie talk about virtual world in the future. And then there come like a Matrix and another like cyberpunk, lots of the good movies about the virtual world. So that's why we name it after TRON. So basically, this is like the name of the virtual world in the future. So that's also one of our vision. It's because we see TRON as a smart contract platform is the first step of the whole mankind to move towards the virtual world. So eventually, I think like everything will be moved on the internet. Right now, it's information, money. Maybe in the future, even soul. The thinking. What we are thinking about things will move online, right? Like the company Elon Musk is doing, like they migrate like your mind onto the internet as well, right? So like everything online. So
Maybe I'll let you go first on that one.
I will take a try.
All right.
Well, thanks very much for
Yeah,
coming,
thanks a
Justin.
lot.
Thank
I
you.
hope we see more of you in Taiwan.
Come back soon.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.